Welcome to Trading Lounge and the indices report, and starting with the S&P 500 here. Quite clear that the turn has begun and we can start tracking, I think, a reasonably simple correction because it's a wave 2. So a wave 2 normally has a zigzag, which is a 5-wave structure for wave A, 3-wave structure for wave B, pulling back 61.8%, and then wave C. Now, the 61.8% and 50% is down through here, but I suggest that we should just track the wave structure to get the target in this particular case. On the 15-minute chart here, we can get a bit of an idea of the size of it. Let me just bring this into perspective a little bit. So we have to be mindful that it can come down this far. We're currently in the third wave here, and you can wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for A, bounce for B. I'm just taking it off the 10 here. And if you want to get into more detail, you can look for 5 waves between wave 4 and 5 here. The extension's in wave 3, so wave 1 and wave 5 will be roughly the same length. And then wave B and then wave C. Obviously, that's the same for the Dow Jones, but the Nasdaq could be a little bit different. Let me just find it here. Oh no, it's starting to come off nicely now. That's all right. Let me just double check. Okay, a little bit confusing here. It's just my way of tracking different counts, but the box means it's an alternative count, and in the alternative, in the proper count, we've got 1 and 2 here, 3, 4, and all the way up here for 5, up through to here for wave 1, looking for an A and a B and a C back through to here. I did have another count that was considering this one here as minor wave 1 and minor wave 2 here, and then that would make this leg up here wave 1 and 2, and then 3 to here, 4 pulling back to the fourth wave of 1 lesser degree just here, and then moving up from that point here. Not that it matters so much. I think that we're just better off tracking what's occurring. And the European markets are pretty much in line as well. If we start with the DAX, so as you know, we were looking for a top, just here actually. I know that it looks only 3 waves here, but on the cash market, it was actually 5 waves. So once again, the 50-60% marks down through to here. What I normally find at a level when a market doesn't really spend a lot of time here or correct and so forth, it would change from resistance to support, a classic trading levels pattern. However, it didn't really give a big correction. So normally I'd sort of look at this as a bit of an overshoot pattern, which is the second pattern that we'll normally look at. And the distance above is normally the distance below the level. So that would bring us into 11,200, which is pretty much in the 61.8% mark. But I just thought I'd throw that in because it's always a nice guide stick if you see a market just sort of travel straight through a level. Once again, we're looking for a simple correction in terms of an A wave in 5 waves, B wave in 3, pulling back 61.8%, and then wave C in 5 waves. And on the 15-minute chart here, we can have a bit of a look. Not such a bad structure really here, quite nice. So wave 1 and 2 here, and then in the third wave here, you can start to see 5 waves emerging here, and 1 and 2, maybe 3 and 4, a little bit short here. I'd have to pull that apart here, but I think expecting a bounce close off the 11,500 is the deal, and that bounce can be in 3 waves coming back to 11,650, and the supply starts there, the resistance as well. But you know that I like the 65 number, very subtle, but didn't pay much attention here because it was in the third of a third of a thing here. So, but once it tires and comes back up through here, it will play a stronger part for sure. Yeah, and this C wave coming down here will be in 5 waves, and it should look roughly the same as wave A, except wave A should be sharper. Wave C should be on more of an angle, and that tells us that it is wave C, actually, the personality of it. And the FTSE, the UK 100, I won't go into detail here, but the same as well, and we're expecting that in terms of the wave count, but also because of 800 there as well. The psychology of numbers comes into play with the levels, which is always nice. And it's nice when it all fits in with the Elliott structure as well. So the only other element here is the volume, but don't quite need that at this stage. I won't go into detail there, but I will move on to the AEX. And once again, we've got the exact same sort of picture here as well. Will it come down to the 50-60%? Maybe, maybe not. But yeah, let's just look at it here on the 15-minute chart here. So yeah, look down for 1. Nice A, B, and C back for 2 here. And then the third wave unfolding through here. So it's still further to move down, but you get the picture. Once wave A is in play, then we can expect some sort of retest close to the 61.8%. And over to the Australian market, and I want to start with CBA. And it's just that we've, it's just a bit of a solid rock we can work with here. But look, we're looking for a wave 4 here, so it should be sort of interesting to see how far this actually pulls back. I mean, all the other markets have finished their run up, and maybe I've miscounted and so forth, but let's just shape that up a little bit. Let's put that there. That's there. That's there. That's there. So that's what we're sort of looking at for this market. Yeah, but yeah, a bit tricky really. I mean, yeah, all the other markets are coming off, so it's a little bit sort of unusual that this one's still got that lead to the upside there. The Australian market, well, we got pretty close to getting this right here as well. So we're looking at this in terms of, there is another story with this as well in terms of actually having a top in play here. But I won't go there today because it's not going to make much difference. The main point is that, well, the turn is started, you need to take certain actions, and what can you expect from that turn? Well, at minimum, we can expect the same as the Europeans and US markets, and this is the pattern that we'd be looking at here. So the support is in various places when we look at all this here, but the routine. So we're moving into group 2 at the moment here, and that will offer some support. And secondly, the main point here is that currently down here we've only got 3 waves. Okay, so that can be corrective basically. So we do need to see if we get 5 here, then in simple terms we get another 5 over here. Okay, so that's what we're sort of looking for, and you should be able to sort of work that out shortly. This wave 3 down here, it probably finish in here somewhere. So if you see the 4th and the 5th down at the midpoint here, then you know that you've got 5 waves here, and then you'll know what to expect. I wouldn't get too involved in trading the B wave long here. The only time I'd go long is if there was a very solid tested support and a setup on that 5-7 to go to the upside at that point. But a clear 5 waves here will deliver 5 waves over here. All right, well, that's it. A bit short today, but it's all quite clear and quite simple. Okay, cheers, thanks.